Most people spend pennies, nickels, quarters, and dimes without a second thought. But what if I told you that some of those same coins could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? The 1956 wheat penny, the 2000p nickel, the 1995 D quarter, the 1979 D penny, and the 1970 dime may look like everyday change, but rare mint errors and flawless conditions have turned certain examples into treasures hiding in plain sight. So before you hand over your next coin and change, you might want to take a closer look, because one of these could be your unexpected jackpot. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we are going deep into the fascinating story and surprising value of the 1956 wheat penny, a coin that most people pass by without a second thought. Yet in the right condition, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars and might just turn an ordinary pocket find into a collector's treasure. Let's start with the exciting part. If you have a 1956 wheat penny in pristine, uncirculated condition with strong details and a rich, original red luster, you could be looking at a value ranging anywhere from $50 for lower mint state grades all the way up to $3,000 or more for a top-graded mint state 67. Example: rare varieties such as double die obverse coins or pennies with striking errors like off-center strikes can push the price even higher, because these are the types of unique finds that collectors go crazy for. The 1956 wheat penny comes from one of the most beloved coin designs in American history, the Lincoln wheat cent. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the reverse featured two wheat stalks surrounding the denomination 1 cent, symbolizing prosperity and the agricultural roots of the nation. By 1956, this design had been in use for nearly 5 decades, but it was nearing its end, as the Lincoln Memorial reverse would replace it just 3 years later in 1950. This penny was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a heavier feel and warmer tone. Compared to today's mostly zinc cents, in 1956, over 1.1 billion pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, and about 1.1 billion more at the Denver Mint with the small letter D below the date. So in sheer numbers, it is not rare, but the survival rate of truly perfect coins is very low, because most entered circulation immediately and endured decades of handling, scratches, and discoloration. What makes the 1956 wheat penny exciting to collectors is the challenge of finding those elusive top-grade coins with flawless surfaces and bright original red color. A coin graded MS67RD is like a time capsule from the mint, fresh, crisp, and untouched by human hands. Such examples are incredibly scarce, because copper is a soft metal that easily picks up marks during minting and storage. There are also known errors from this year that can boost value significantly. Some coins show repunched mint marks where the letter D appears doubled. Others have misaligned dies, creating uneven or off center designs, and double die obverse varieties where the lettering and date show strong doubling are among the most sought after. These error coins can sometimes sell for hundreds, even in circulated condition. In today's market, most circulated 1956 wheat pennies are worth only a few cents to a dollar depending on where, but if you spot that bright red luster, minimal marks, and sharp detail, especially on Lincoln's hair and beard, it's worth getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Because high-grade coins are where the big money lies. So before you toss that old penny into your change jar, remember, this tiny piece of copper could be a miniature time machine carrying history from the mid-20th century and holding far more value than its face. Might suggest the 1956 wheat penny is proof that in the world of coins, condition and rarity turns small change into big rewards, and you never know, the next one you find might be the star of your collection or your ticket to a collector's payday. The 2000p nickel might seem like just another piece of everyday change, but for collectors it holds potential far beyond its face value. In most cases, these coins are worth 5 cents in circulated condition, but when you find one in pristine, uncirculated grades, especially mint state 67 or higher, the value can climb to $100 or more. Certain error varieties, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double die designs, can push that value even further, with some examples selling for several $100. This coin belongs to the Jefferson nickel series, which has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since 1938. The obverse features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, while the reverse shows Monticello Jefferson's iconic Virginia home. The 2000p nickel was minted in Philadelphia and carries no mint mark other than the letter P to the right of Monticello. These coins are made from a copper-nickel alloy, giving them durability, but also making it challenging to find. Examples: without contact marks from the minting process or circulation, with over 1.4 billion pieces produced in 2000. This nickel is not rare in terms of mintage, but what makes it valuable is condition. Very few coins survive in gem condition straight from the mint, without scratches, dings, or dull surfaces. Most went directly into circulation, where they picked up were almost immediately. Collectors specifically hunt for those sharply struck examples with full steps on Monticello, which indicates a perfect strike and is a key grading detail for Jefferson Nichols full steps. Coins from 2000p in mint state 67 with perfect luster can command significant premiums in auctions because they are the true rarities within an otherwise common issue. For those who enjoy searching through rolls of nickels from the bank, this coin presents an exciting challenge, as finding a flawless one is extremely difficult. Whether you're a casual coin hunter or a serious numismatist, it's worth keeping an eye out for the 2000p nickel in exceptional condition, because in the world of coin collecting, beauty, precision, and rarity turn an ordinary 5 cents into a much more valuable treasure. The 1995 D quarter may look like any other Washington quarter in your pocket, but certain examples can be worth far more than 25 cents in high mint state grades, especially MS67 or better. These coins can bring in values from $50 up to over $1,000. And if the coin has unique errors like double die obverse off-center strikes or clipped planchets, the price can climb even higher. These rare varieties are prized by collectors because they combine scarcity with the charm of modern coinage. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint and carries the small letter D mint mark to the right of George Washington's ponytail. The design on the obverse is the classic portrait of Washington, first introduced in 1932 by John Flanagan, while the reverse still features the heraldic eagle, which had been used on quarters since 1932 before the state quarters program began in 1999. The 1995 D quarter was made from a copper nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core, giving it a silvery appearance and a weight of 5.67 grams with a mintage of over 1.1 billion pieces. This quarter is extremely common in circulated grades, but finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is a true challenge. Most coins have small nicks, scratches, or dull luster from years of handling. Collectors especially value quarters with strong strikes, full detail in Washington's hair, and sharp eagle feathers on the reverse, because these features are often weakly struck in mass production. Mint state coins graded MS67 with booming luster and no visible marks are the real gems and can fetch big premiums in auctions. There are also known errors from the Denver Mint in 1995, such as broad strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint marks, all of which are sought after by error coin collectors in everyday change. The 1995 D quarter might be just another coin, but in the right condition or with the right error, it transforms into a collectible worth far more than its face value, reminding us once again that modern coins can hide valuable surprises in plain sight. The 1995 D quarter may look like any other Washington quarter in your pocket, but certain examples can be worth far more than 25 cents in high mint state grades, especially MS67 or better. These coins can bring in values from $50 up to over $1,000. And if the coin has unique errors like double die obverse off-center strikes or clipped planchets, the price can climb even higher. These rare varieties are prized by collectors because they combine scarcity with the charm of modern coinage. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint and carries the small letter D mint mark to the right of George Washington's ponytail. The design on the obverse is the classic portrait of Washington, first introduced in 1932 by John Flanagan, while the reverse still features the heraldic eagle, which had been used on quarters since 1932 before the state quarters program began in 1999. The 1995 D quarter was made from a copper nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core, giving it a silvery appearance and a weight of 5.67 grams with a mintage of over 1.1 billion pieces. This quarter is extremely common in circulated grades, but finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is a true challenge. Most coins have small nicks, scratches, or dull luster from years of handling. Collectors especially value quarters with strong strikes, full detail in Washington's hair, and sharp eagle feathers on the reverse, because these features are often weakly struck in mass production. Mint state coins graded MS-67 with booming luster and no visible marks are the real gems and can fetch big premiums in auctions. There are also known errors from the Denver Mint in 1995, such as broad strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint marks, all of which are sought after by error coin collectors in everyday change. The 1995 D quarter might be just another coin, but in the right condition or with the right error, it transforms into a collectible worth far more than its face value, reminding us once again that modern coins can hide valuable surprises in plain sight. The 1979 D penny might seem like one of the most ordinary coins you could possibly find, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth far more than just 1 cent. While most examples in circulated condition are worth only face value, collectors will pay several dollars or more for a coin in pristine mint state with full red luster. And if you happen to find an example with a rare minting error, the price can climb significantly. Certain varieties like off-center strikes, double die reverses, or clipped planchets have been known to sell for much higher amounts depending on the severity and clarity of the error. This coin comes from the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 until 2008. The obverse features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, replacing the wheat reverse design in 1959. The 1979 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint and carries the small letter D below the date. It was made primarily from copper with a small percentage of zinc, specifically 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that rich, heavier feel that many collectors prefer over today's mostly zinc cents. Introduced in 1982, over 4.1 billion of these coins were minted in Denver, making them incredibly common for everyday use. But sheer quantity does not diminish the difficulty of finding one in truly perfect gem condition. Copper is a soft metal and tends to pick up marks quickly during the minting process and while in circulation. This is why coins graded MS-67RD or better are scarce and highly prized. Collectors also look for original red color designations, which indicate that the coin has not toned or lost its natural copper brilliance over time. These red designation coins are significantly more valuable than brown or red-brown examples in the same grade. For the 1979 D penny, the sharpness of the strike is another factor. Coins with crisp detail in Lincoln's hair and beard and fully defined steps on the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse are more desirable because they reflect careful minting and minimal die. Wearer coins from this year add an entirely different layer of interest. Some of the most notable errors include repunched mint marks, where the letter D appears doubled, dramatic die cracks that run through parts of the design, and striking misalignments that result in part of the design being missing or distorted. These types of errors can transform an otherwise common penny into a coin worth dozens or even hundreds of dollars in today's market. A typical circulated 1979 D penny will still only be worth a cent, but for collectors, the thrill is in finding that one coin that stands out from the billions minted, whether it's because of its immaculate condition, blazing red color, or a fascinating mint error. In the world of numismatics, even a small, humble cent like the 1979 D can tell a story of craftsmanship, history, and potential value hidden in plain sight. The 1970 dime is one of those coins that most people overlook as ordinary change, but for coin collectors, it can be an exciting and sometimes surprisingly valuable find. While the majority of 1970 dimes in circulation are worth only their face value of 10 cents, certain examples in pristine mint state grades, or those with rare varieties and minting errors, can be worth a significant premium. The most famous and valuable among them is the 1970 NOS proof dime, a variety so rare that examples have sold for over $30,000 at auction. This variety was struck in San Francisco for proof sets, but due to a minting mistake, the S mint mark was omitted, making it one of the great modern rarities in U.S. coinage. The regular 1970 dime was part of the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The obverse features his portrait, designed by John R. Sinek, while the reverse depicts a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The coins were made from a copper nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core, giving them a silver-like appearance without containing any actual silver except for special collector's issues, which were struck in 40% silver for proof sets. In 1970, circulation strike dimes were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, while proof coins came from San Francisco with the NOS variety being the ultra-rare exception from that year. Mintage numbers for regular strikes were high, with hundreds of millions produced, making common examples easy to find in circulation. However, truly flawless uncirculated coins graded MS-67 or higher are much harder to come by and can fetch $50 to several $100, especially with full strike details. Collectors pay special attention to the sharpness of the torch lines on the reverse, as well as the clarity of Roosevelt's hair and facial features on the obverse. These small details can make the difference between an average coin and a gem worth a premium. In addition to the no-S proof error, there are other valuable mint errors from 1970, including off-center strikes, double die obverse, and broad strikes, each of which adds rarity and collector interest. While most 1970 dimes you encounter will only be worth their face value, there's always the chance of finding one in exceptional condition or with a rare variety that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This coin is a perfect example of why collectors carefully examine even the most common-looking change, because sometimes hidden among the ordinary are rare treasures waiting to be discovered. And that's why you should never ignore the coins in your pocket or change jar, because hidden among the ordinary are pieces of history and potential treasure worth far more than their face value. The 1956 wheat penny, the 2000 p nickel, the 1995 D quarter, the 1979 D penny, and the 1970 dime prove that even the smallest coins can carry big rewards. So keep looking, keep learning, and maybe your next find will be the one that turns spare change into serious cash.